Welcome to Learn English Fast.
Speak English with confidence.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. My name is Henry, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic for English learners. The topic is how to think smart and speak English fluently. Now, many learners ask me, Henry, how can I speak English faster? How can I stop pausing and thinking too much before I speak? The answer is not only about grammar or vocabulary. The real secret is about how you think in English. In this episode, I will guide you step by step. We will talk about what it really means to think smart in English, the problems learners face, and most importantly, I will give you simple and practical tips that you can use every single day. So, if you want to stop translating in your head, if you want to speak with confidence, and if you want to sound more natural in English, then this episode is for you. Stay with me until the end, because I will also share an easy daily speaking routine that you can follow. This routine will help you train your brain to think in English faster and speak more fluently. All right, let's get started. So, what does it mean to think smart in English? Thinking smart means using your brain in a simple and effective way when you speak. Many learners make speaking more difficult because they always try to think in their own language first, and then translate into English. This takes time, and it makes you pause, forget words, or feel nervous. For example, imagine you want to say, I'm hungry. If you think in your language first, your brain has to do this. Step 1. Think of the idea in your language. Step 2. Translate it into English. Step 3. Check if the grammar is correct. Step 4. Finally, say it. This is slow, right? By the time you finish, the moment is gone. But when you think smart, you skip the translation step. You train your brain to think directly in English. So instead of going through many steps, your brain goes like this. Idea. English sentence. Speak. That's fast. That's fluent. Now, thinking smart doesn't mean using very big or difficult words. In fact, it means the opposite. It means using simple words, short sentences, and useful phrases that can help you express yourself quickly and clearly. Here's another example. Instead of stopping and thinking about how to say, I believe it is a good idea because it will help me in the future, you can think smart and simply say, I think it's good for me. Both sentences give the same idea, but the second one is faster and easier. So remember this. Thinking smart in English means thinking directly in English, using simple words and expressing ideas clearly without translation. Before we learn how to think smart and speak fluently, let's first talk about the common problems English learners face. You might recognize some of these problems in yourself. Problem 1. Pausing too much. Many learners pause too much when speaking. Why? Because they are busy translating in their head, or they are looking for the perfect word. These long pauses make you lose confidence and make the conversation feel slow. Problem 2. Forgetting words or grammar. Sometimes, even though you know a word, you can't remember it at the right moment. Your brain is searching and you feel stuck. Or you might think too much about grammar rules and then forget what you wanted to say. Problem 3. Overthinking every sentence. Learners often try to make their English perfect. They worry about every small mistake. But this overthinking makes your brain tired, and you speak more slowly. Remember, communication is more important than perfection. Problem 4. Fear of mistakes and judgment. Many learners are afraid that people will laugh at them or think badly if they make mistakes. This fear stops them from speaking at all. But the truth is, mistakes are normal. Everyone makes them while learning. Problem 5. Lack of confidence in real conversations. You may practice English alone, but when you talk with real people, your mind suddenly goes blank. You feel nervous and forget everything you practiced. This happens because your brain is not trained to think directly in English during real situations. Now, why are these problems important to understand? Because they show us one thing. Most of the difficulty in speaking English is not about knowing grammar or knowing vocabulary. It's about how you think when you try to speak. If your brain is full of fear, overthinking, or translation, then fluency will always be difficult. But if you change your thinking style, you can speak more easily and naturally. So don't worry if you have these problems. Almost every learner faces them. The good news is, you can fix them with the right mindset and the right practice. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about next. Now that we know the common problems, let's talk about something very important: your mindset. If you want to speak English fluently, you must change the way you think about speaking. Most learners think like this: I must be perfect. I must speak with zero mistakes. I must use big vocabulary words. But this mindset makes you slow and nervous. The truth is, fluency is not about perfection. Fluency is about communication. Think about this. When a child learns to speak, do they speak perfectly? Number. They make many mistakes. But do people still understand them? Yes. And with practice, they get better. You are the same. Mistakes are part of the process. When you try to be perfect, your brain is busy checking every little grammar rule. This is slow thinking. But when you focus on sharing your message, even with small mistakes, you are thinking smart. For example, if you want to say, I have been studying English for 3 years, but you are not sure about the grammar, don't stop and freeze. You can think smart and simply say, I study English for 3 years. Is it perfect grammar? Number. But will people understand you? Yes, and that is what fluency is all about. So remember this golden rule: fluency first, perfection later. When you focus on fluency, your confidence grows, and as you practice more, your grammar and vocabulary will improve naturally. Smart thinking is about choosing simple, clear sentences and speaking without fear. Perfection will come later, but fluency starts today. All right, now let's get practical. How can you train your brain to think smart and speak English fluently? Here are some simple but very powerful tips. Tip 1. Do self-talk in English. This means talk to yourself in English, just like you talk to yourself in your own language. For example, if you are cooking, you can say in English, Now I cut the onion. I put oil in the pan. I wait for it to cook. If you are walking, you can say, The weather is nice today. I see children playing. I feel happy. This small habit trains your brain to connect daily life with English words, and you stop translating. Tip 2. Use simple sentences first. Don't try to speak like a professional writer. Start with short and clear sentences. For example, instead of saying, I am extremely delighted to meet you today and discuss important topics, just say, Nice to meet you. I'm happy to talk with you. Simple sentences are faster, easier, and more natural. Over time, you can build longer ones. Tip 3. Learn and use automatic phrases. Native speakers don't create every sentence from zero. They use ready-made phrases, or chunks. For example, I think that, in my opinion, that sounds good. I'm not sure, but when you learn these phrases, you don't need to think too much. They come out automatically, and you sound fluent. Tip 4. Practice visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself in different situations, like ordering food in a restaurant, meeting a new friend, or asking for help. In your imagination, speak in English. For example, "Excuse me, can I have a coffee, please?" Visualization is powerful because your brain cannot tell the difference between real practice and imagined practice. Both train your brain to think faster in English. Tip 5. Think in English about your day. At the end of the day, review your activities in English. Say to yourself, "Today I woke up at 7. I went to work. I met my friend. We had lunch together. I watched a movie in the evening." This trains your memory and makes English a natural part of your thoughts. Tip 6. Don't stop for unknown words. Sometimes, when you forget a word, you stop speaking. Instead, think smart. Explain the word in another way. For example, if you forget the word refrigerator, you can say, "the machine that keeps food cold." People will understand, and you will keep speaking fluently. So, remember, talk to yourself daily. Keep sentences simple. Use automatic phrases. Visualize situations. Review your day in English. Don't stop for unknown words. If you practice these tips regularly, your brain will start to think directly in English, and fluency will become easier day by day. Now, let's talk about vocabulary. Many learners believe that to speak fluently, they need to know thousands of words. But that's not true. Fluency doesn't come from big vocabulary. Fluency comes from using the right words and phrases quickly. Here's the secret. Phrases are more powerful than single words. Why? Because phrases are ready-made. You don't have to think too much or build the sentence from zero. For example, instead of thinking, "How do I say my opinion?" you can just use the phrase, "I think that," instead of thinking, "How do I say I don't?" No, clearly. You can just use, "I'm not sure, but." Instead of searching for many different words to agree, you can simply say, "That's right," or "I agree with you." These small phrases make your speaking smooth and natural. They also save your brain energy, so you can focus on the conversation, not on grammar rules. Of course, vocabulary is important, but remember, it's not about the number of words you know, it's about how well you can use the words you already know. For example, the word good. You can use it in many ways. "That's a good idea." "I had a good time." "This food tastes good." So learn useful words, but also learn common chunks of language, small groups of words that often go together. That's the smart way to build fluency. So the golden rule is, don't just learn words, learn phrases, use them daily, make them automatic. This will help you think faster and speak more fluently. Another smart way to train your brain for fluency is through listening and shadowing practice. First, let's talk about listening. When you listen to English often, your brain gets used to the sound, the rhythm, and the speed of the language. This helps you understand faster, and it also helps you speak more naturally. So, make listening a daily habit. It could be podcasts, YouTube videos, or even English songs. Now, what is shadowing? Shadowing means listening to a sentence in English and then immediately repeating it out loud, almost at the same time as the speaker. You shadow their voice, like a shadow follows your body. For example, if the speaker says, "I like learning English every day," you try to repeat it at the same time. "I like learning English every day." At first, it may feel difficult, but with practice, it trains your mouth, your ears, and your brain to work together. Why is shadowing so powerful? Because it helps you improve your pronunciation, copy natural rhythm and intonation. Train your brain to think faster without translating. You can start with short audios or videos. Just 5 minutes a day is enough. Listen, repeat, and shadow. Slowly, you will notice that speaking English feels smoother and more automatic. So remember, listen a lot and shadow often. These two practices together are a shortcut to fluency. Now, let me share with you a simple daily speaking routine. If you follow this routine for just 10 to 15 minutes every day, your fluency will grow faster and faster. Step 1. Warm up with listening. 3 minutes. Start your day by listening to something in English. Maybe a short podcast, a YouTube video, or even a dialogue. Just listen and get your brain into English mode. Step 2. Shadowing practice. 3 minutes. Take one short part of the audio and shadow it. Repeat after the speaker. This will help you practice pronunciation, rhythm, and natural speaking speed. Step 3. Self-talk. 4 minutes. Now, talk about your day, your plans, or even what you see around you. For example, "I'm drinking tea. I feel relaxed. Later, I will go shopping." Keep it simple, but say it out loud in English. Step 4. Phrases practice. 3 minutes. Choose 2 or 3 useful phrases and practice them in different sentences. For example, "I think that," "in my opinion," "that sounds good." Say each phrase many times until it feels natural. That's it. Just 10 to 15 minutes. Short, simple, but very effective. The key is consistency. If you do this every day, your brain will get used to thinking in English, and fluency will come naturally. So, remember, it's better to practice 10 minutes every day than to study 2 hours only once a week. Daily practice wins. All right, my friends, we are almost at the end of today's episode. Let me leave you with some final tips and motivation. First, remember this. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being confident and clear. Don't wait until your grammar is 100% correct. Start speaking now, even with mistakes. The more you speak, the faster you improve. Second, practice every single day, even if it's just 10 minutes. Small, daily steps are much more powerful than long study sessions once in a while. Consistency builds fluency. Third, be kind to yourself. Mistakes are not your enemy. They are your teacher. Every mistake is proof that you are learning and moving forward. And finally, think smart. Use simple words, use phrases, and speak without fear. The more you practice smart thinking, the more fluent you will become. So, my challenge for you is this. Starting today, try to think in English for just 5 minutes every day. Talk to yourself, describe what you see, or review your day in English. Do it daily. and you will see amazing progress. Thank you for joining me today on the English Learning Podcast. I'm Henry, and I hope this episode helped you learn how to think smart and speak English fluently. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and I'll see you in the next episode. Good luck and happy learning.